Well, guys, it's Thursday again. Still finding struggle in getting back to business because it just feels like, does it even matter anymore? It feels like it still feels heavy. It still feels fresh. It still feels unreal. It feels like life as we knew it is different. Still hitting deeply, still very spiritual. And I'm trying to dig through what I think is the way forward. I'm going to speak a little more about grief. We never know how grief is going to affect us, and none of us knew on September 10th that what was coming was coming. Every time I see the video of Charlie Kirk with his arm raised in the air as he was throwing hats before this all happened, I think about the fact that he had no idea that those were his last moments. I'm sure he knew that people wanted him to not be here anymore. He had threats, likely daily. But none of us know the answer to what that is. And so even in the grieving, I am fully aware that any time, could be our time. And we don't know, we don't even know. But give yourself grace still to process the grief, to process what we've seen, what we've witnessed, what we now understand is some deep spiritual warfare, right? What we are seeing is not even though we can see it in flesh and blood, even though we can see the differences in people we thought we knew, people we thought we understood, or at least had some kind of semblance with. I've come to understand that is not necessarily true. And even my friends, who some call themselves Christians, it's not for me to judge, it's not for me to know, it's not for me to say. However, I just don't think we celebrate death. I just don't think that's cool. It doesn't matter whose it is. And so I totally feel the meme about now we understand how the crowd asked for Barabbas, right? And so I think of this in terms of that, in terms of how would it be then to be there when Jesus was sent to the cross, and how would it be to know and understand the depth of the spiritual warfare that was happening and the weight of what has happened now. How much heavier would it have been to be Mary, or to be one of the disciples present, to be John present at the crucifixion? I never imagined that I would have this conversation. I never imagined that we would witness what we've witnessed, that we would be talking about grief in this way, and grief not only for ourselves and what we've seen, but trying to process through the loss. So we have the loss of life. We have the loss of who we thought we knew people were. We have the loss of friendship and relationships. We have the loss of decency. So much loss. So much loss. And if you're still feeling it, understand that you're not alone. I have waves of things that come. Sometimes I'm angry. Sometimes I'm mad. Sometimes I'm deeply sad. Like in my bones still. Like in my soul. My soul is grieved. And then I think of Jesus saying his soul is grieved to the point of death. What? Like what? And how much more that must have been. But understand that you are not alone in your grief. And if you are feeling alone or isolated, please do not give the devil a foothold. Please reach out to someone and talk to them. If you are not a Christian and you don't understand the level of grief that you have, please reach out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if you are watching this video somehow and you are one of those people who think that Charlie Kirk was a hater, and hated you or hated people in your demographic, reach out anyway. As believers in Christ Jesus, we do not hate people. Even people who are cheering for death, I don't hate you if you're one of those people. That's not how I process through life. I am deeply saddened that people would do that. And I pray for those people. I can't change them, but I can have a conversation and let them know that they're not alone in grieving, even if they're grieving for a different reason. And this isn't me trying to coddle or be a non-combatant Christian, because trust me, I'm one of those people in my life who has always spoken truth, and that has got me in trouble more times than not. However, I believe when you speak truth to people, when you truly speak truth to them, it is out of love that happens. Love is the reason for some of us to speak truth, even if it's hard to hear, even if it's not what you want to hear. And I'm one of those people also who wants you to tell me the truth, even if it's hard to hear. That's how we process through things and how we grow and become better. And just because you may have a different belief than I do, doesn't mean that I hate you or that your grief is not real. So I just felt compelled to say that. I don't have a script. I'm not reading from anything right now. I'm just trying to process still through this grief and trying to understand how we encourage each other going forward, no matter where we stand on it. Grief is real. Grief is going to come in waves, and I don't think this one's going to go away anytime soon. So I'm going to keep talking about it. I hope you'll come along for the journey, and I hope that your day is truly blessed, even as we sit with the grief.